Members of a Swedish think tank said most, but not all, of the world's nuclear powers are scaling down their arsenals. Analysts at the Stockholm International Peace Research Institute released their annual report Monday. They looked at the 5 nuclear-armed countries that belong to the International Non-Proliferation Treaty and 3 others, India, Pakistan, and Israel. They say the nations possess about 17,200 nuclear warheads. That's 10% fewer than last year. The U.S. and Russia have reduced their arsenal under the terms of a new treaty. They also retired aging warheads. Analysts say China has some 250 nuclear warheads. That's about 10 more than last year. They also say Pakistan and India appear to have expanded their stockpiles by about 10 each. The analysts say the leaders of the nuclear powers seem unwilling to give up their arsenals for good.
The Japan-India nuclear power deal has been on the horizon for some time now. But the 2011 nuclear accident in Fukushima slowed the pace of discussions. As Abe and Sin move forward on this issue, experts say they'll have difficulty mapping out a strategy on another what to do about China. Professor Takako Hirose of Senshu University has insight.
India is an emerging power, and the energy demands are very high. So, and also the global warming is a big problem. So nuclear power is certainly one solution. So India wants to develop or construct more nuclear plants. And Indian people admire Japanese technology. Despite Fukushima, that sort of admiration hasn't gone down. So certainly for India to construct more nuclear power plants, India needs Japanese cooperation. And from Japanese side, Abe administration wants to export nuclear plants to various countries. And India is a huge market, so it's not in terms of 1 or 2 plants, but in 10s and 20s and that sort of thing. So the mutual interests converge there. Well, Indians understand Japanese sensitivity towards the nuclear thing. So, but at the same time, the nuclear matter, it has been a kind of irritant for Indians. They want to leave, jump, but because of this, they have to wait. They have been very patient. So with the conclusion of the nuclear agreement, I think that the relationship between the 2 countries, not only in terms of nuclear cooperation, will develop very fast. Both Japan and India perceive China as a kind of threat. That's true. And both countries have a territorial dispute over that, with China. But India doesn't want to be used as a kind of pawn for containment policy or encirclement of China. So India's foreign policy tradition is a non-alignment policy, and India doesn't want to be used by other countries or taken as a part of, sort of doesn't want to gang up with other countries. And China has been very sensitive to us, this, ties between Japan and India, or India and the U.S. So we have to be more careful, and Japan also has to consider better ways or more constructive ways to strengthen strategic ties, like sea lanes, security, maritime security, or piracy. And also the 2 countries have to continue the dialogues so that we can understand each other much better. And so in a much more wider perspective, the relationship should be strengthened.
The head of the International Atomic Energy Agency has vented his frustration over nuclear talks with Iranian leaders. Yukiya Amano says the negotiations are going around in circles. Amano said the Iranians are still installing centrifuges and enriching uranium. He said those activities contravene UN Security Council resolutions. Amano said there have been 10 rounds of talks since January 2012, but no progress. He said Iranian leaders must answer questions about a facility near Tehran. He said they should allow investigators access to the Parchin military complex. The investigators believe scientists have developed nuclear weapons there. Agency officials have been trying to win concessions from Iran's chief nuclear negotiator Saeed Jalili. He's one of the candidates in Iran's presidential election later this month.